All right, fourth attempt. So I went back to the yard and got a 300 SL rear axle. The other one I bought, I probably already said already, did not have the same spline count. Then I had a spare axle set, and that also didn't work. Well, it did work, but I messed it up by taking them apart. So I'm not going to take this apart. I don't know why, but this looks... Nah, I'm just tripping. All right, this was the other one. I put it in wrong, so it's just stiff as hell. And I didn't... Getting these to get in and out is just a pain in the ass, so I bought another set. And yeah, just wanted to figure out which way they go facing, like, I guess which way they're clocked. That big side's up, and same thing on this side, big side's up. So when they're facing each other, big sides are up. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull this apart, clean it up a little, throw some gasoline in it, and clear out all the old grease, and then stick it on the other shaft. All right, so got them off, clean them up with diesel. Last time I used gasoline, I'd probably use gasoline again. Diesel doesn't work as well. And then I sprayed them out with brake clean, so I got most of the grease out of it. Old axles over there. And then I'm gonna stick them on the new axles. When you get the boots off, they have these little things inside if you're replacing them. So take these out of your old one and stick them in the new ones. They go in this ring right here. And yeah, I'm just gonna throw them back together. I know which sides or what phase they're supposed to be in now, so that's good. And I'm gonna check everything back together. And there you have it. Both axles done now. Time to slap this in the car. Put the suspension at, I guess, 90 degrees like they said, and torque all those bolts down. Fun stuff. Put this thing back together. It's been a long ass time. Okay, everything is tightened to spec. I lifted this up to the proper angle where the axle is parallel, torqued everything down, or axle is straight, as the factory service manual says. The only thing that needs to get torqued once I put the wheels on is this bolt. And I didn't do that bolt because the spring has to be in. And I didn't want to have the bottom, that little brake, there's like a little arrow rubber thing that goes on here, or sorry, plastic. It covers that a lot, so I don't know if I'll be able to torque it with it on. But either way, once the wheel's on, I'll torque them down. When it's at right height, I need to still put in fluid for the diff. Drive shaft's bolted up. I don't think I recorded anything with the SLS, but I stripped one of these, so I had to get this leveling thing off another car that I have. So I'm not sure how well that's gonna work, if it works. The previous owner took the SLS shocks out and just capped it off. So this is what was on the system, or on that car. Still got to get another one because I actually wanted to have that car. I wanted to hook the SLS back up to that other wagon. But overall, pleased. I got everything done. The only thing I didn't get done is, now I'm looking up from the ground. I didn't get the sway bars. I honestly think like Dodge Challengers will fit. I just haven't tested it yet, but I know they use 211 rear suspension. And the sway bar looks similar. The issue with these are the sway bar. It runs across the top, as you can see. Oh no, you can't really see, it's dark, but it runs straight across the top, and all the E55 one curves. Has this curve in it, and that curve pushes it back to where the SLS spheres are. So it'll work on a regular one, but not, sorry. It'll work on a sedan and a coupe, and I don't know about a convertible, but anything without SLS. And the wagons all have it, so I think a Challengers will work. I gotta go measure it. I told myself every time I go to salvage yard, I'm like, oh, I'll measure it. I even went there today and forgot. Anyways, that's done back here. All right, so I guess these are the bearing carriers for the front wheels. Replacing everything, got the races already pushed in here. These are cold still. I need to get it on the press, but yeah, just the tools that I use. Just I guess this is a race pressing kit. Usually you could use it with a hammer, and I'm just using the press right now. So yeah, I knocked this out, put this on the car, and get the rotors on. Brake lines are coming in today, so gotta knock this out. All right, grease them up, put them in, got that seal in the back. I put one on, and FedEx just came and dropped, I believe, these are the brake lines. So I'm gonna put the other hub on, or the wheel bearing carrier, whatever it's called, on the other side, and yeah, throw the rotors on and the calipers and see what those lines are. All right, so put the hub on both sides now. I guess I'll just show that. Both sides on, did not do the whole spec. I don't know if you're supposed to do it with the brake rotor or not. I'm gonna look at the factory service manual and see. I have a little pull dial gauge thing, but I don't think these are gonna be final. This is more or less getting ready for the car to move, but I'll look up the specs. Anyways, got the rotor on. And they're gonna put this caliper. I think I got this from a 220 four-wheel drive model, and I have some from a CLK with the ML back end, but I think four-wheel drive models came with this. And mainly, you're looking for one that has a short, I guess, fitting where the brake line goes into. All the other ones come like down to here. So this one's from a four-wheel drive W220, and I have another set. These are from the CLK 550, and then I found the ML 500 163 chassis, I believe they are, the first gen ones, the ML 500s, and just get the back half of that. So these aren't sealed. I need to I'd have to rebuild those, but I got to rebuild the other ones, but I'm not even sure. Not that I'm not sure. I'm definitely not going to use this on this car. I'm probably going to put it on the coupe. But either way, I need to get a braking system on the car, so might as well just put this on. And that's what I'm doing right now. Not sure where I am on the suspension, but here we are. Got the brakes done or on. I still have to tighten everything up on this side. And on this side, I'm at the same. I need to get a crush washer and get the line in, and also install this bar. These are, I thought this was SL500, so some might be, and I know this is from SL600. I got this so many years ago, I don't remember, but I think it's a 500, and they're both the same size, but they're also both the same bar, so it might have been a 600, I don't know, but they're from 129s, and the bars are 30 millimeter and 18, or 32 and 18, I don't remember. I'll measure it and put it on the screen or something. But I remember being the same spec as a W124 E60 AMG bar, and those are hundreds of dollars. So if you get this and make your own bracket, you gotta put the swaybar for relatively cheap. I think the bars are like $20 at a salvage yard or online. You probably could, if you ever find it online, they probably sell them for like $100. But you do have to make your own bracket, and I guess I'll go into that. All right, I got the bar in place, and that's the gap between where the old one was and this one is. It fits all right. This end, it's not all the way tight there. I'm thinking about cutting the edges of these off because it kind of interferes and makes it look wonky. But I'll see about that. The main thing right now is, again, this gap that I have to extend these forward. Might use some material off that and just bring it whatever distance this is right there forward and brace it somehow, because I'd rather it not break. The only movement I think it has more or less up and down, not forward and back. I think that's what I'm getting at, but who knows? I'm just gonna reinforce it extend it and reinforce it. All right, got that done. Not done, but the piece that I need cut out to extend it further. You guys can see there. Beveled both edges, so now I'm just gonna weld in between that gap and hope for the best. I'm gonna probably tack it. It's gonna pull down since it's being welded on this side, so that's kind of concerning. There's a plate that goes over the top like that That one on the other one clearly was shorter, so I'm thinking I might need to get this extended as well to go all the way to the end to just brace it more. All right, finish this up, grinded everything smooth-ish. Now, the way this sits, this goes like so, and it mounts to the frame of the car, that's facing forward. Now, this basically used to come all the way to here, so I'm thinking I should extend this all the way to like here or something. Just right to bracing, or I was thinking just make like a triangle, like here and then here, and that'll brace this whole entire thing. I think that might be a better idea. I don't know. I'll see. All right, this is how it looks when it's done. I did both. I did the brace and extended this. So this is how it looks. This MIG wire it's a flux core and it's really horrible. I'm a bad welder, but the amount of splatter we put out is like 40% splatter and 60% weld is insane. But I have to replicate this on the other side. These are the pieces that I use. This is the stock one. Just cut it, extended it with this, and use these for bracing. And then this piece I used and extend here. So this was, I think it was 12 millimeters. And then I just measured it and then cut a diagonal and cut a bunch of. I made that. So that works. So I'm going to do it again. All right, so yeah, this is how it looks after they painted. I also extended and painted these things. They hold like the brake wear sensor and front wheel speed sensor cables that go around the shock. Comparison in size again to, or length to the factory ones. So I'm going to throw these on the car and start working on the rear end. And the front, everything's done up here. Swaybar. What is this called? I don't know. Mounting brackets. Extended. Everything's torqued down. And yeah, ready to go. I just got to figure out where there's like a little metal thing that goes on this. I'll show you on the other side. Voila. Yeah. I need to go into those, but I'm going to throw the wheels on, put the ramps on, and get it lower. I still have to bleed the front brakes, so I got to do that and put the diff fluid in. All right, ramps in place. Unfortunately, I didn't get to bleed the brakes because I don't have my power bleeder on me, and I need another person, so yeah, I can't do that now. I left it at Andrew's place, or allowed him, or gave it to him to borrow and just never picked it back up. So, yeah. Gonna see how it looks once I lower it down. I'm not sure if these ramps are in the perfect spot, but I don't know. Let's go. This is the first time it's being lowered down since it's been up. It's just crazy to think about. Hold on, let me fix all this stuff. All right, these are a little better. Put some 2x4s in the front. And let's continue. I don't know. It's kind of the same. Oh. God damn. Okay. It's because SLS doesn't have anything in there. I hope. The front didn't go that well. Oh, it's probably because it's still on the lift. Let me put some fluid inside this thing. Pretty sure it's all drained out. All right, this is it. down. It's a lot lower than I thought it was gonna be. I know I could raise with some spring pads, so I think I'm gonna order those. I'm just gonna suck it up, take the front springs off. But this is how it looks. I'm definitely gonna have to, I don't even think I can get it out of the driveway unless this thing lifts up in the rear ones. Yeah, I think I need to get the SLS working because I can't even roll right now. So I'm gonna either bang that fender in. I'll probably just bang it with a hammer. I have the proper 500E fender flares for it. So, but yeah, this is how it looks. Straight up no gap. And this is without it settling. So I know the rears can be adjusted with that. Oh, this is not, it's not gonna roll. All right, I gotta start this thing and get the SLS working. All right, time to lower this thing. Everything's back in. I'm not sure where I was in this whole series, but I'm gonna knock these fenders back with a hammer. Don't have a fender roller, but I need this thing to roll at a decent ride height. So I'm just gonna cut slits and then hammer it up. Again, I'm not really concerned. I have other quarter panels I'm gonna put on later on, but for now, to get this thing rolling, I need to get this done. And then set the ride height in the back for the SLS. Also ordered some new spring pads for the front because, yeah, it's too low. You'll see in a second. Hammered it. Ended up cracking the paint. Should have warmed it up, but don't really care. That side's that way, and this side is looking like that. So, not bad. Gonna look. Well, I have to start the car, which sucks because it's kind of facing the wrong direction. But start it, lower it down, and adjust the SLS screw thing. Well, I didn't really have a task of the day, but I did get this thing off of the lift. I don't like the stance. I need to raise the front significantly. I couldn't get the back lower than that, so that's as low as it goes. That's a fine ride height to me. I just need to raise the front. But overall, not bad. I need to find an alignment shop. I got the front wheels a little more lined up because the toe was way off on them. But also, I'm not sure how this is corrected, but it's hella close here and not here, and on the other side it looks like it's touching. So I was thinking the lower control arms, that's what I changed, so you can see here. Yeah. The lower control arms need to come, like, rotate so this one pushes out, and maybe that'll rotate the wheel forward some. That's my only guess, but overall, pleased. Need to get it aligned up.